welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Natalia, and today's video is gonna be a fun, chill video. We're gonna do a little bit of ranting, you know, the typical stuff. So if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can join the fan band, because we lit over here, okay? First thing that I want to discuss, you guys probably see in the title, but it's the fact that Miss Universe Puerto Rico this year is finally an Afro-Latina. Before you guys start saying, oh, she's not that dark, listen. Michelle Marie Colon, she's 21 years old, she's from Loíza, she represented Loíza in the Miss Universe Puerto Rico pageant. She considers herself an Afro-Latina and really opened up about her story and what it was like for her growing up. And she made a few points that were not surprising to me at all and that I personally felt like I could relate to. So this is kind of a big deal for me, guys. I remember in one of the articles that I read about her, she talked about kids making fun of her and calling her Mona, which, if you don't know what that means, that's the female version of a monkey. And basically she would get made fun of for her skin complexion a lot, and she was ashamed of it at first, but now it's something that she truly embraces and accepts. And for me, like, hearing that now at 28 years old is impactful. I can only imagine if I was a young girl watching the Miss Universe pageant the way that I always did, and seeing someone that looked like me representing my country or where my family's from. It really would have meant a lot for me, and even right now it means a lot to me. I feel like this is definitely a step in the right direction. We have so much farther that we can go, but literally, like, year after year, I feel like the women that come out representing Miss Puerto Rico look more or less the same. And that's no shade or anything to any of them, because they're all absolutely beautiful, stunning, and gorgeous. Basically everything. Not at all anything towards them, but it's just that the pageant has definitely geared towards the same type of look every year. And I feel like this is the first year in a long time. Most people would probably say Miss 2004, Alba Reyes, was the closest to an Afro-Latina. This is probably the first time that we see someone who looks different. So this is not a bad rant or anything. I can't believe it's taken this long to get someone of darker complexion on that stage representing Puerto Rico, but I'm all for it. I'm so excited. You guys know that I'm all about my Miss Universe videos, so you can look forward to those coming next month, because the pageant is actually next month in December, which I can't believe. We just had Miss Universe in May, and here we are about to do it all over again, which I feel bad for them, because that, like, sucks because she didn't get a full reign, but you know, it is what it is. She had a good time. All right, so now speaking of complexion stuff and all of this, this is something that I wanted to touch on a while ago, but I hadn't gotten around to it, so we're gonna talk about it now. And what the hell happened to J Balvin? If you guys missed out, J Balvin released his new video for his new single called Perra with Tokisha. I'm sorry, I don't follow her. Not for any particular reason, I just haven't gotten into her, so I don't know how to fully pronounce her name. He released his new video called Perra, and that video, when it dropped, stirred a lot of freaking controversy, because in the video you saw dark-skinned black women basically being portrayed as the dogs. There was one scene where he was walking with them, holding them on chains, or on leashes, sorry, with, you know, the chains around their neck. Women just like dancing like in the doghouse, and then Tokisha, I think she's like dancing like in the doghouse, dressed like a dog, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't get to see the video, but I saw like photos and stuff, and I'll try to have inserted those here for you guys to see. But it's 2021. No one at any point of filming this video, of reviewing, of editing this video, casting for this video, all of that, all the steps that it takes to put, you know, a piece of this content out. No one at one point said, some people may have a problem with this. Like, seriously, like, given like the state of our society right now, and just how easy it is to get canceled over things, you know, if you say something wrong, if you do something wrong, like, no one at any point really sat there and was like, maybe we shouldn't do this, maybe we should, you know, not have the black girls be the dogs and him be this white man singing reggaeton. Because listen, I get it, like, Colombians and everything, they're mixed and all that, but J Balvin is of lighter complexion, therefore many people would consider him white passing. So the optics of it are, I just don't understand why they thought that was a good idea. Like, it really baffled me, because again, it's so easy to get canceled nowadays, and it's so easy to not put yourself in these types of predicaments where, you know, you show that you are sensitive to basically everything that anyone who's a person of color has gone through. If you're showing yourself to be this ally, why would you do something like that? Like, I just didn't get it. I don't know if it was done on purpose, because at the end of the day, bad publicity, any publicity is good publicity. So if people are talking about you, if people are watching the video, at the end of the day, he was still making money from the controversy. So you have to wonder, like, are some of these things actually done on purpose? Which sometimes I honestly think they are. Like, I can't even lie, because sometimes they're so out of place, or they're so random, or they're so obviously avoidable that it has to be on purpose. Like, you know what I mean? So it was just very, very bad judgment on all of them, on J Balvin, the directors, and everyone who was involved with that video. And then also there was another part of the controversy where the fact that the song is like derogatory against women. Perra is the Spanish word for bitch, female bitch. And even like his mom came out and condemned him making this song. And it's like, when your mom is publicly shaming you, like, you know you f***ed up. So I don't know where he goes from here. It's like back-to-back L's for J Balvin too, because the first one was when he had that little short-lived beef with René Residente. And if you guys hadn't heard about that, basically what happened was, from my understanding, J Balvin, I think, got snubbed for the Latin Grammys and was trying to boycott the Latin Grammys. And Residente came out and said, like, no, like, this is a big opportunity for a lot of artists that don't get as much exposure as someone like you. You know, you don't even like write your own music, you don't even compose your own music or something like that. He like came at him hard, like literally like ended it right there, and you didn't hear anything else from J Balvin after the whole like t-shirt hot dog thing. Like, there was something where he said something about a hot dog stand, and then J Balvin sold merch, and then Residente came back and told him all that shit, and then it was ended from there. So J Balvin needs to take a step back. And honestly, like, I don't want anybody to get mad if you're a big J Balvin fan. I was a big J Balvin fan. I am a J Balvin fan. Like, I think that he's put out some really good music. But when it comes to like little things like this, like, I'm like, come on, bro. Like, you are what's considered by many to be like somewhat of a trailblazer, you know, like along with Bad Bunny. Like, he's been one of the first real ones like featured on mainstream American television, doing like the Tonight Show or the VMAs, you know, and being a really big prominent Latin figure that it's like, bro, you can't afford to mess up like this. Like, people are rooting for you. Do the right thing. That's it. Do the right thing. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that J Balvin situation. To me, that was crazy. Like, I couldn't even believe that no one at any point was like, maybe we shouldn't do this. So I don't know. Next topic I want to talk about is that new Rosalia and The Weeknd record. I think it's called La Fama. It just dropped. Today's Friday. It just dropped last night on Thursday. Duh, Thursday comes before Friday. And it just dropped, and it is a bachata, and I have a lot of like feelings about this, because Rosalia, to me, liked her a lot, like in the beginning when she was making like all of her original own music, and even in the beginning when she started getting into reggaeton more. But part of me can't help but feel like now she's a lot less of herself and a lot more of like an industry plant, to where she's making music that's not native to her own country, which is fine. Like, listen, people do that. But she is, let's be real, from Spain. She's European. She's not a Latina. I have a whole video discussing the differences between being Hispanic and Latina, or Latino, or Latinx, if you want to call it that, where like she's like been like, if I'm not mistaken, I believe I saw this like on the cover of Latina magazine. She's won awards in the categories of best Latin song, and she's just gotten a lot of opportunities that would have gone to people that are actually of Latin American descent. And I feel like a couple things. I feel like her label, or her people, whoever her team is behind her, clearly saw where the money is when it comes to Spanish music. Everything is all about reggaeton right now. Like, we love every other genre, but let's be real, at this day and age, bachata, new bachata isn't really popping unless you're Romeo, or unless you're singing with Aventura, like anything. Bachata is not what it was like in the early 2000s when you had more groups and more people coming out, and so everything is pretty much all about reggaeton, you know. Bad Bunny, J Balvin, everyone, Ozuna, everyone who's big right now basically blew up after singing reggaeton. And I think they kind of saw where the money is in the market, and they wanted to cater to that, and she wanted in on that. Fair. But I have a problem with the Weeknd collaboration, even though I did hear the song and I do kind of like it, which I knew I would. I knew I would, because I'm like that. Like, I will talk shit and eat it later. Like, that's how I am. But because I'm always like, I don't like this, and then I end up liking it. So basically, I knew, like I felt like it's a bit of an issue because, first of all, who's The Weeknd? The Weeknd is a huge pop star in North America, very, very well known worldwide as well. And a Latin collaboration with someone like The Weeknd is a big deal. We still are in the earlier stages of people, of Latin artists collaborating with American artists, even though The Weeknd's Canadian, but you know what I mean, of bigger mainstream artists. People like Romeo did it in the beginning with like Usher and Drake and Nicki Minaj, and then you have Bad Bunny with Drake and Cardi B, and all these people that are doing all of this pioneering of collaborating and bringing those two worlds together. It's a beautiful thing. My problem is that the song is a bachata, and I feel like if she would have made the song with Romeo, or with someone of the caliber of Romeo or of Dominican descent, it would be different. Like her song with, again, Tokisha or Tokash. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, because I know like a lot of people really like her. I don't mean to butcher her name on purpose. The song that she did with her, which is a very urban reggaeton dance song, that is fine in my eyes, because again, it's with the person who is of that culture, so it sounds much more natural and realistic. Whereas a bachata with Rosalia and The Weeknd, it's two completely outside people coming and singing a genre of music that neither of them culturally have a connection to, which some people may say is fine. Like, I'm reaching by having a problem with it. That's your opinion. I just think that it's becoming, for someone like Rosalia, like seeing like the trends that she's following in terms of the type of music she's making, it's becoming less and less authentic for her. When you listen to her old stuff, and obviously artists evolve, like that's the whole point, but it's becoming less and less authentic in the sense that there are other darker skinned, or even same complexion but natively Caribbean or Latin American artists that don't get the opportunity to make a bachata with someone like The Weeknd, or even make a song with Ozuna or Bad Bunny. and those people get overlooked, whereas here comes a complete outsider. They get all these big opportunities, basically. And I know Rosalia has even had her controversies in Spain, in her native country. A lot of people didn't like the fact that she's from Barcelona and she was doing flamenco music. People called her overweight or whatever, and I feel like things like that also probably help gravitate more towards here, where in Latin America thicker bodies are more celebrated, so she probably feels like she fit in a little bit more. Speaking now, she hasn't done anything to offend me personally as like a Latin person. She comes from a place that unfortunately people from Spain are so gung-ho and so like just strong about the fact that they're European, they're not Latinos, but then when it's convenient to be a Latino, they want to blend in. But at the same time, they want to turn around and talk about us and say we don't speak Spanish correctly, we are too dark, or the music we make sucks, or anything like that, you know? So it's hard because you can't put that entire burden on her because she's just one person. And again, she hasn't done anything to make me feel that way, but it's just that baggage I feel like you can't help but notice along with her when you see her getting all of these Latin opportunities. Like winning, like she won the VMA or the Grammy, I think it was the Grammy, for Best Latin Song for a song she did with Billie Eilish. I had never even heard that song. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I never even heard that song. I still haven't heard that song. I had a problem with that whole thing and I still didn't even hear that song. And I feel like, you know, like right now, like being like Dominican or being Puerto Rican is seen as really cool. Like it is. It's seen as being, you know, hip and being trendy and all of that, which is why, like, for example, like Karol G made that song Bichota. Like, and I'm not the type of person to get triggered by this. Like, my friends know, like, I am like, do whatever you want. This type of stuff doesn't normally bother me, but then there are times where it's just so blatantly obvious when you're trying to just pander to a certain group of people that it's like, come on, you know. And that's what I feel like Bichota was. Like, Karol G's Colombian and she's singing a song entirely in Puerto Rican slang, where it's like, okay, unless you're from Puerto Rico, you don't know or you don't fully understand the song. That's why people, like, you know, people have gotten a lot more used to Bad Bunny's music, but in the beginning when he first like was blowing up, a lot of people were like, what the fuck is he even saying? Because these artists make their songs in Puerto Rican slang because that's where they're from, that's how they speak. So for Karol G to make the song Bichota, where that word isn't even used outside of Puerto Rico, I was like, oh, why? Like, why? This is just me and my opinion. Like, if you guys don't agree with me, that's perfectly fine. That's why we're here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm so interested to see what you guys think about this, because these are things that I've been wanting to talk about for a little while. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below, like I said, and do not forget to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And yeah, I will talk to you guys next time. Bye. Mwah. It's all the same. Highs and lows, highs and lows. Keep all your game. Highs and lows, highs and lows.